Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Glenn Dietzel here, live from our international office. It's warming up here in our international office, and today I'm going to share with you some concepts around the future of coaching that will heat up your business. And that's what it's all about today, right? Speed to market, speed to execution, and the research that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to do this also around a case study today as well. I want to show you what we've been teaching over the last 11 years and what happened. A momentous shift in the area of coaching and training happened just over 4 to 6 months ago. I'm going to show you some stats here today. And most importantly, you're going to want to take notes. You're probably going to want to draw out a few diagrams here today. I'm going to be disappearing a little bit, a little magic show here today. I'm going to share a few things here live with you on my desktop. And most importantly, I want to help you create a business breakthrough here on a Monday at 2 o'clock EDT in our international office. So I'm excited today, and we are going to move forward right now. What's going on at the Canadian Lake Home? This is a featured article that appears, a section of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine every month. And this is what's going on at the Canadian Lake Home. We are still under a deep freeze here. This is what the lake looks like, where the Canadian Lake Home resides. And as far out as you can see, about 90% of the lake is frozen, and the Canadian Lake Home is located on Lake Huron. So that's what's going on in the Canadian Lake Home. It's one of the most, one of the favorite sections of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, and our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts are sponsored by Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. On part one of the future of coaching, I shared with you last week, and I'm going to bring you up to speed very quickly. I highly recommend that you go through last week's training, part one of the future of coaching, and do that right away. Last week, I presented a law. It's called the law of irrelevancy. And the law of irrelevancy is really built on Milgram's law, which is the foundational law, and Zipf's law. Milgram's law was a law that was really apropos for the information age. And that is, Milgram's law says this, that the marketplace blindly believes the words of an expert. This means potential candidates for your programs and services back in the information age really just required you to be an expert. Milgram's law, or Zipf's law, is really the law, if you will, of when we transitioned a couple of years ago from the information age to the post-information age, or what I call the advisory age, or what some experts call the recommendation age. And Zipf's law, that's a Z-I-P-F apostrophe S, Zipf's law says that in an overcrowded marketplace like we're in today, you need to really follow me here. In an overcrowded marketplace, your market or your potential candidates will select the company or expert perceived to be on top. So the advisory age is all about being the expert's expert, the advisor's advisor, the consultant's consultant. In the information age, back in the era of Milgram's law, it was okay to be an expert. However, in today's marketplace, as I'm going to show you and prove to you today, it's no longer good enough to be an expert. In fact, so many entrepreneurs, especially that are trying to build coaching, consulting, training businesses, are doing all the activities that might have got some traction in the information age, but in the advisory age that requires you to stand apart from your marketplace, it is absolutely not working in today's market. And that leads really to the law of irrelevancy. The law of irrelevancy. And the law of irrelevancy says this. It's built on Milgram's law. It's built on Zipf's law. Milgram's law is really the 1 second rule, that in the information age, you literally had less than a second to position yourself as an expert. So what do experts do? Well, they have books, they speak in front of audiences, etc. What does Zipf's law say? Zipf's law says, or if I can reinterpret it for you, it's the 4 second law, or the 4 second rule. You have as little as 4 seconds to position what you do completely separate from what your competitors do. And in previous trainings, I've told you that as you're pitching and you are building your competitive advantage, you always want to do it from the context of what your competitors fail to do. And that's crucial. So take a look at what your competitors do and what you do differently. The law of irrelevancy says that in an overcrowded marketplace, and this happened about 4 to 6 months ago, the number of experts is growing exponentially thanks to Amazon, thanks to the ease of publishing today, both self-publishing, both creating an ebook. And this is something that we've been teaching for the last 11 years. That based on the statistics that I saw when I broke into the industry now almost 12 years ago, taking a look at where things were going, we said that somewhere in 2014, 2013, it was a little bit longer than we estimated, 2014, back in early fall, the number of experts now is increasing exponentially in every single industry of coaching, consulting, and training. Furthermore, the number of entrepreneurs and the number of those baby boomers that over the next 15 years are retiring at 10,000 people a day in North America alone, let alone the rest of the world, that have all this wisdom, all this expertise, that 40% of them are coming into the marketplace every single day. That's 4,000 new coaches, consultants, trainers, those that are starting a business to compete against you. And we're going to have a little bit more to say about this. So you've got to think differently. You've got to execute differently. You absolutely must understand the law of irrelevancy is working against you. And so how does the law of irrelevancy work out? Well, as I mentioned to you last week, and we delved into this deeper, your marketplace today is looking at any data that's taking in and trying to make it irrelevant right away. Why? Because we're all overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. That means that your potential candidates for your programs are overwhelmed. And so they're looking to see how you can be represented in their organizational way of seeing the world, making you irrelevant by seeing you as somebody else. So that's why it's critical. And understanding the 3 Ps that we covered last week, it's crucial that you have proper positioning in today's IP age. As I mentioned, and I want to make sure that you understand, that accelerated learning is crucial in today's market. Accelerated learning, not just in the way that you learn, but most importantly, the way that you teach your clients and how you teach your clients to get the results that you're promising them. Because at the end of the day, that's what your potential candidates are investing in, right? ROI. But you want to be able to deliver ROI from the concept of ROIT. We're going to cover that a little bit later as a review item. So when we're talking about accelerated learning, we're really talking about focusing on active versus passive learning. And most experts and gurus in this industry today of teaching others to be experts and gurus, really what they're focusing on and teaching you is to waste all your time in the area of passive learning. You know what I mean by passive learning? Writing a book. Reading a book is passive learning. If you want more in-depth research on this, research Edgar Dale and take a look at what he was saying years ago around the difference between active versus passive learning. Passive learning is just about every area of learning that you're doing today, separate from doing something that engages your mind actively in the area of doing something. So passive learning is reading a book, reading a free report. Passive learning is listening to a DVD. Passive learning is going to an event. That's all passive learning. You've got to be able to specialize in active learning. And it's today's leaders, today's experts who stand apart from all the other experts, or experts, or consultants, or trainer, or the advisor's advisor that have the ability to leverage accelerated learning. We live in a marketplace today that, as you know, we don't need more information. What your potential candidates need is accelerated learning tools. You need them. Your potential candidates need them. The next concept that I want to make sure that I bring you up to speed on from where we were is what I refer to as the trifecta of business domination. The trifecta of business domination. As I mentioned to you last week, and as I've covered on previous Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, the trifecta of business domination really comes down to this: what you know, when you know it, and how you execute on it. What you know has got to become part of your competitive advantage, and that's why I'm teaching you. And that's why we run one of the fastest growing high-level coaching consulting training companies, because my clients want to know exactly what they need to know. They know they need to know it ahead of everybody else. So when you know it is critical to your success. And most importantly and fundamentally, how you execute on it is crucial. And that's what I refer to as the trifecta of business. So in today's marketplace, linear growth is not good enough anymore. That worked in the information age. And it worked in the transition from the information age into the post-information age a couple of years ago, when we first anticipated this way back 11 years ago. And we put New Guru Model Free Report together 3 years ago, anticipating the change from incremental or linear growth to accelerated growth around customized learning, around using assessment tools that will allow you to close deals 5 times, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times faster, and have your ideal clients select your highest end programs over your competitors. So it's not good enough to compete anymore. You've got to absolutely know you need to dominate. And that's why the trifecta of business dominance is critical to your success. So really what we're talking about today, it's a race for the best organizing principle. It's a race, everybody, for the best organizing principle. So what do I mean by that? Well, let me share with you really quickly here a few diagrams. You might want to jot these down, because when I'm talking about a better organizing principle, I could spend hours, days, months. We've organized this in a special Future of Coaching, which we are going to release as a published book. But I don't want to do that. Why? Because most people don't read a book, and most people don't execute. This is Marcus Buckingham, that I'll quote him, that 92% of people in the post-information age, in an overcrowded marketplace in which we live today, 92% of people, that is your readers of your books, because I know many of you have books, or you're working on a book, 92% of people aren't going to get past page 18 of a book. I want to help you and assist you to see something different, and most importantly, execute in a way that's crucial to your success. So when we're talking about a better organizing principle, what do we mean? Well, let me just quickly summarize this with a few diagrams here that I want you to see. First of all, you want to position yourself by inverting the business funnel. So you don't want to organize your company's IP on the traditional business funnel that starts with lower end programs, it goes to higher end programs and services. You want to flip the business funnel or invert the business funnel and position high end programs and services. All right. Secondly, and this is absolutely crucial, that you move from a passive teaching style with your educational systems that you put your potential candidates through into, from a passive system, for example, reading a book, to testing and assessing your potential candidates for your programs. Testing and assessing your potential candidates for your programs. And last week, we mentioned the 3 Ps that are crucial to this. And I'm not going to go over the 3 Ps, because if you missed that training, you're going to want to go back and review it. All right. The next organizing principle that's critical to your success in the post-information age, in the advisory age today, that is the result of the explosion of content and an explosion of coaches, consultants, and trainers, explosion of trainers, explosion of speakers, explosion of authors. You want to look at your organizing principle away from what we call TTFM, trading time for money, to the concept called ROIT, return on invested time. All right. And that's critical that you understand that. All right. Next, you want to create an organizing principle that is away from focusing on making money. Yes, every business is about making money, but this is about much more than creating money. This is about controlling marketplaces. All right. So your organizing principle has got to be focused on how can you get into dozens, tens of dozens, or hundreds of markets, specialized niche markets immediately. All right. And I'm going to cover that with you in just a second. Okay. The next organizing principle is moving away from selling. And if you hate selling and you hate all the sliminess of what most experts and gurus teach you, you need high-priced copywriters. You need all this other stuff that they say. All it does is it just takes away speed. And in a way, you want to take a look at creating royalties. Okay. And I mentioned having training or coaching royalties for your programs and services. As I mentioned, you need a better organizing principle that instead of incremental growth or linear growth, which is too slow, you want to have fast growth or super fast growth. Because in today's post-advisory age, it's not the big that eats the small, it's the fast that consumes the slow. So you've got to have faster systems than your competitors. What are you doing right now to create faster systems than your competitors? What are you doing to outthink them? What are you doing to out-execute them? What is it that you know that they don't know? And I'll tell you, that's a critical question I need to know. And how can you position yourself and know critical data that your competitors don't know? So the when, that's the trifecta of business dominance, the when, do you know this? And most importantly, how do you execute on this in a way that your competitors don't? And so fundamentally in your organizing principle, then you want to position yourself away from price and position yourself on the value ladder. So instead of the price ladder where all the competition is, the value ladder where you are a category of one. At the end of the day, you've got to have a value formula or a way to price your programs and services in a way that is subordinated to an educational system that allows you to close deals quickly. Because this is a race to a better conversion process in today's marketplace. Leads are easy. We are drowning in leads. I want you to have the same problem I have. And so the first thing you need to understand is that more fundamental to lead generation in the post-advisory age is a better conversion system. This is all around knowing how to frame or posture or build the right context for your content. So what we're talking then is instead of getting paid singularly, we're talking about getting paid exponentially. All right. So having a way that you can exponentially increase the value of your advice, then multiply that by a multiple. And that is the power of getting paid over and over again. How are you getting paid over and over again? That's my question to you. What are you doing right now? And I'll tell you and share with you, and this is just because I'll tell you from the School of Hard Knocks and how our company has grown so quickly and all the great entrepreneurs that are investing and have invested in our programs to work with me. I hear some horror stories in today's market. Byproducts of bad advice, faulty execution, not knowing how to position themselves or their company at the forefront of what's going on, even if they're in startup mode, undervaluing their advice, trading time for money, and all of these other costly mistakes where in today's marketplace, coaches, consultants, trainers in 2015 are just getting trampled. So I want to help you arise above all that noise. And so one of the things that we've done in today's market is created a point of assistance, and we've called it the future of coaching, an insider's guide to getting paid over and over again as the industry leader. All right. Now, this is something that, as I mentioned, we have access to a lot of publishers. I wrote one of the very first ebook authoring programs almost 12 years ago. We got recognized by Adobe. We created the very first relationship where we guaranteed our clients access to a New York publisher. And this was going back 11 years ago now. And so we know the industry very, very well. And I saw where everything was going with the advent of self-publishing, with the advent of ebook authoring, with the advent of an explosion. According, and this is where I want to just lean on a little bit of research here from a number of Intuit studies that showcase where everything is going. And in their well-researched reports that they've put out, they say this, that by 2020, 40% of North Americans will be freelancing. 40% of North Americans will be freelancing. So let alone the 10,000 baby boomers who are retiring every single day, 1,500 here in Canada, where our international office is located, 12,000 just in North America alone. 40% of them will be moving into some kind of business, coaching, consulting, training. They will take their life experiences and they will be competing directly with you. So that's 4,000. That's 4,000 competitors in the area of coaching, consulting, and training a day, let alone all those that are across the rest of the world. In the next, by 2020, there will be another billion people, middle-class people from across the world who have access to the internet, who can start a business from virtually no money at all, competing directly with you. Another interesting study that the Intuit report points out that there will be 1 billion women moving into the marketplace. Another billion women. So outside of the billion middle class people that all have the skills and the tools to be able to start and grow a company, well, at least start a company. It's gonna be very difficult to build a company. When I'm showing you this, especially in the coaching, consulting, training, expert industry, this is why what I'm telling you now, you need to appropriate immediately. I mean, yesterday. So 1 billion women are coming into the marketplace as well. And women that get it and know what they're doing can crush it in today's market because they do most of the buying. And a woman's advice today, properly packaged and properly presented, will outdo a guy's advice. It's just the realities of today's marketplace. So you've got, and I don't mean to scare this, I'm just bringing you here the realities of today's market. This is the kind of real situation that most gurus and experts will not let you know. Everybody will say, oh, I'll start a coaching business. Oh, write a book, become an expert and all this kind of stuff. Yes, that worked years ago. The reality today is that's just greater sameness. So you've got to be different. You've got to execute different. You've got to be close to the source of momentum. So we put together the future of coaching. We were going to publish it. We've had a number of publishing offers, but my advice is too valuable to put into a book. And so if you are interested in getting a head start on our advice, I'll give you some contact information. We are opening up a few positions for my inner circle. And as part of the qualification process, we've got some tools to send to all candidates to level the field if they're in startup or serial entrepreneur, to help everybody expedite and get up to speed in terms of our application process, so that those that we accept come into our programs at an accelerated rate. And this is why we have such a fast track record of accelerated growth right from the beginning of starting into our programs. And I've interviewed all kinds of clients just over the last little while, over the last 11 years, thousands of case studies, hundreds and hundreds of video documented case studies. In fact, we have so many, we have a documentary being created on our new guru model, accelerated approach, and our Omega Mind high-end program. So I'm excited about this. Why? Because as I mentioned to you, it's all about accelerated learning. It's all about understanding the trifecta of business domination. And it's all about doing what your competitors don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. So we'll have more to say about the future of coaching. But if you would like to get the inside scoop over anybody else in your industry, I'll give you a way to access that very shortly here. What I'd like to do right now is show you a case study, and then I want to build this case study in 7 critical principles around where the future of coaching is right now, where it will be next year, the year after, and why it will the number of competitors that I mentioned is increasing exponentially in your marketplace. And why, as I mentioned, 96% of coaches, consultants, and trainers will fail to make a profit in 2015. And I'm telling you, and this is my bold prediction right now, that the number of failures in coaching, consulting, training, it will mirror the number of failures, business failures in the area of authoring. 96% of authors fail to make a profit. Not that some of them don't make money, all right, but 96% fail to make a profit. And so many coaches, consultants, and trainers are still operating under the guise that, or under the misinformation that we live in the information age. We live in a marketplace where you need a better organizing principle to rise above all the other experts, consultants, gurus in your industry. And that's the power of the new guru model. And that's the power of our free report, our new guru model free report that we've had in the marketplace for the last few years, just to assist our clients to execute. And those that are interested in mentorship, help you and help them get up to speed as quickly as possible. So what I'd like to do right now is I want to share with you one of our clients, and I've been sharing hundreds and hundreds of them. This is Dennis Eagle. Dennis is client's case study 2302. Yes, as I mentioned, we have several thousand case studies. I'm going to play just a quick audio recording here of Dennis. I could show you a video, but I'm going to play you an audio just to give you a chance to listen to Dennis himself. And then I want to build these 7 principles. Dennis is a former minister, and you're going to be shocked at what he was able to do in less than 2 months working with me from scratch. No joint venture partners, no website, total newbie in the area of coaching, consulting, and training. He just used a better system. So here's Dennis.
Hey, Glenn, this is Dennis Eagle. Just wanted to call and say I appreciate what I've been getting from your coaching. We launched our internet business December 1st. Within 2 weeks, we had a $50,000 account sold, and another 10,000 or so that was going to be coming in over the course of the year. Updating that a little bit, we have right now about $500,000 that will be coming in before the end of the year on about 4 or 5 different accounts. The good news is, the breaking news is, we just got word last night that the COO of this company we've been doing business with is getting ink on paper for $1.24 million for a 2-year contract. And so that'll be coming in 2 payments, half immediately and the other half in 6 months. So I appreciate all of the contribution you've made to my business to make this a reality, and looking forward to continued coaching with you. Thanks, Ben.
Impressive, everybody. What if you were able to do the very same thing? And that's the power of what I'm telling you. So I want to go through with you, and I've shared with you all kinds of different case studies, different entrepreneurs. I've interviewed them on our Google Hangouts, coming to us from all kinds of different industries today. And I want to go through with you 7 critical principles around the future of coaching that Dennis was able to leverage and that my clients use today to really position themselves as the advisor's advisor, the expert's expert, the trainer's trainer, if you will, in an overcrowded marketplace, given the statistics and the trends of what's really going on in the market. First of all, I want to encourage all of you to take your life experiences seriously right now. Take your life experiences seriously right now. I see so many people today, and my clients get this, but they don't really take their life experiences seriously, or they say, well, I'm going to do this in a month, or I'm going to finish my book, or I'm going to do all kinds of other costly mistakes. And I'm not saying getting a book is not done, but if you don't know how to get to 7 figures immediately and start building royalty income for your coaching, consulting, training services immediately, that positions you light years ahead of your competitors, it's very difficult to beat this. To beat a competitor, should they take execution in a way that you're not and get ahead of you, it's very difficult to come from behind unless you're doing and implementing something completely different. So I want to encourage you to take your life experiences seriously and execute immediately. Secondly, you want to make it in business. Making it in business and teaching someone to be successful are mutually exclusive. Both of the skills, the first one of making it in business, and so the very few experts that have truly made it in business, the skills of teaching someone to be successful are mutually exclusive. What that means is that making it in business and teaching somebody to be successful are completely separate. And that's one of our competitive advantages. I'm a former teacher. Not only can I assist my clients to do it, but I have accelerated systems to be able to do it as fast, if not faster, than I have. That's true business acceleration. That's true accelerated teaching and learning. The third principle is this. The dentist knew, and that you need to know. Get close to the source of momentum. Get close to the source of momentum right now. Dennis did read a book. He stopped reading books. He stopped buying programs. He stopped going to events. He hired the best because he knew it was all about getting close to the source of momentum. And he invested in my Omega Mind Inner Circle program to work directly with me because he knew that one of the keys in business success today is speed to market execution. All right, next, fourth principle is this. Transform experiences into IP immediately. You want to be able to transform your experiences into intellectual property immediately. Intellectual property that is focused on services. We live in a service-based economy, so I want you to think away from a product. There's only one type of product, by the way, that you should be creating. We've covered this on previous trainings, and it's something that I help all of our clients immediately in our program to create, and they can do it within a few minutes. You've seen some of my clients like Brian Duvall be able to do this. Dennis does this, takes one of these critical products that nobody has thought of before, and now is closing high-end deals within 30 minutes. And for most experts and gurus to be able to do this today, not only takes them years, but they simply don't have the tools to be able to do it in an overcrowded marketplace that allows them to stand apart. The next principle is this. Leverage a system designed uniquely to educate and attract high-end clients to select only you. You want to leverage a system designed uniquely to educate and attract high-end clients to select only you. Remember, it's not good enough to compete anymore. So I want you to put that away. It's about playing big. It's about winning big. It's about executing big. Sure, you know, there's a series of steps that you're going to take, but each of them is going to bring accelerated growth. It's all around newer and faster conversations in the marketplace. So how you organize, again, a better organizing principle for your IP is crucial. Follow that. I want to make sure that you understand that you want to move from an information age linear product funnel, like just about all experts today teach, to a recommendation age cash flow model. So you want to move away from a linear product funnel, like I showed you earlier in our training today, to a cash flow model. You've got to focus on cash flow. The mantra when I grew up from my father, who's a retired CPA, so is my father-in-law, my dad said that companies are asset rich, cash flow poor. I grew up with that. And I built a program for my own self 11 years ago designed around cash flow. And these are the same tested, proven systems that we've built on and developed over the last 11 years so that all of my clients and potentially you get to use our predictable, certain, and secure systems, processes, methods, blueprints, templates, agreements to be able to grow exponentially as well, just like Dennis. All right. And the seventh principle is you want aggressive speed to market before it's too late. Aggressive speed to market before it's too late. And I don't want to be I don't want to end on doom and gloom, because I'll tell you right now, the market is competitive, highly competitive. And you think it's competitive right now? You know, if we fast forward another 30 days with all the new businesses coming into play in the areas of coaching, consulting, training, back in your business, if you want to do a reality check right now and see the law of irrelevancy at play right now, go to Amazon.com, type in a keyword phrase that somebody might search for your product or service online, and take a look at how much competition you have. That is a real tacit example of the law of irrelevancy in today's marketplace. Thank goodness that you and I have connected. And if you would like to and are committed to experience a type of growth that Dennis has and my clients have, we are in the process right now of accepting a few applications. Well, We're accepting tons of them, but we're wading through them, and we are sifting and sorting applications to work directly with me in my Omega Mind inner circle. And if you are somebody who is focused on action, committed to taking the kind of execution that I will teach you, I will help you close deals directly. We run one of the highest touch programs that I know of in the industry. I personally think it's the highest touch program. We help our clients on a daily basis. I'm involved. I get on the phone with my clients to help them close deals, whether they're boardroom, virtual, etc. Plus, they use my systems and processes. That's how my clients are able to accomplish what very few other programs in today's marketplace. I would say probably no one, but I don't know the industry exhaustively, but I do know it very, very well as an insider in the market. And I haven't seen anything like it. And I've invested millions of dollars back into my company to help our company accelerate and help my own clients accelerate. But if you are one of those action takers, you want a little bit more information, you'll want to go to newgurumodel.com/mentoring 2015. And there is a message for you there. You can find out more details. By the way, there's no hard sales pitch or nothing like that. You don't talk to any salespeople. I don't run those kind of programs. You can go to newgurumodel.com/mentoring 2015, or you can go right to our application page, newgurumodel.com/do you qualify, do-you-qualify. And again, there's no sales pitch, nothing. If you sniff a sales pitch, if you sniff any hard selling or anything like that, hey, leave, go. I don't run those kind of programs. I attract the kind of clients, as you see, that are ethical, moral. They are driven. They want to compete. They are tired of losing. They are tired of losing market traction, and they are desperate for accelerated growth, and they'll do anything ethically and morally to get it. And many of them want me to sign a non-compete or sign an exclusivity, I should say, that would prevent me from working with their competitors. So that can be a conversation that we have. But if you are committed and see the importance of being close to the source of momentum and hiring the best, just like Dennis did, just like all of my clients have that I've been showing you, we could set up a conversation. You'll need to apply, and we will confirm everything and give you some tools, including the future of coaching, so that you can take a look at the paradigm, and you and I can both come prepared to have an accelerated discussion and specifically focused on your company, with me making some very specific recommendations. And this is the customized education market, and we've created some very cool systems. My clients love the systems. They love implementing them. Why? Because they give them the same proven, measurable results that I've received and that my clients, thousands of them, have received over the past 12 years. So that concludes part 2 of the future of coaching. Please take the concepts that I've covered and the specific advice, and I want you to, and I encourage you to commit yourself to doing what you're not doing right now, and really focusing on the trifecta of business domination that's clearly opposed right now to the law of irrelevancy. It will help you overcome the law of irrelevancy in today's marketplace. I look forward potentially to talking directly with you should you meet our very specific vetting criteria, and I meet just some of the most incredible people globally, and my wife and my kids are impressed, which at the end of the day impresses me that we've created a system that we'd have to be able to attract just some amazing entrepreneurs that are all hungry for success, to become the advisor's advisor, the expert's expert, the trainer's trainer, the consultant's consultant, to rise to the level of trusted authority in their marketplace. Have a great one.